Giannis' time at the Milwaukee Bucks almost came to an end this offseason. Giannis wants to compete for a championship and was not satisfied by the roster moves that the Bucks did. After losing his co-star Damian Lillard to a torn Achilles in last season's playoffs, which meant Lillard would miss the entirety of the following season, Giannis was in need of more help. The Bucks shockingly decided to waive Damian Lillard and stretch his contract over several years to open up cap space. The Bucks then used that newly acquired cap space to sign Miles Turner to a 4-year, $100 million deal. Then they signed guards Cole Anthony and Gary Harris as free agents, brought back Bobby Portis, Gary Trent Jr., and Kevin Porter Jr. Also, Kyle Kuzma is already on the roster. So according to ESPN reporter Shams Charania, during the offseason, Giannis made it clear he only wanted to go to the New York Knicks, but no deal was made between the two teams. Thus, the Bucks GM had to fly all the way to Greece and had to convince Giannis that they can compete for a championship with the roster they've built.
I think the two things that happened here that have never happened with Giannis Antetokounmpo. One, he made clear privately to the people that needed to know that the New York Knicks were the only team that he wanted a potential trade to if the Milwaukee Bucks would oblige. Now, that's the big if. The Bucks have made it clear they want to give this another shot with Giannis Antetokounmpo. They feel like with Giannis there, this team has a championship opportunity. And there were a series of meetings over the offseason, but there was one in particular. There was one in late June. John Horst, the Bucks general manager, I'm told he flew to Greece. It was a one-day trip, 6,000 miles. He went and sat down with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He sold Giannis on why this team is a championship caliber team. Giannis had his concerns about whether he thought this team could actually win a championship. So you have a team that feels like this is a title contending roster, a player that shared and aired out his uneasiness about it. And so that led to some conversations with the Knicks.
Shams also reported that the Bucks felt the Knicks weren't sending any serious offers, so that's why talks broke down.
Malika, they were serious simply for the facts that sources told me that the New York Knicks emerged as the team in August that Giannis Antetokounmpo wanted to play for if he were to be traded outside of Milwaukee, if these two sides could reach agreement on a deal. And so the Bucks also picked up that phone call that the Knicks made. And I was told essentially from one source that this was an exclusive negotiating window that the Knicks had over multiple weeks in August. Leon Rose, the Knicks president, called John Horst, the Bucks general manager. These sides had multiple conversations. Offers were made, but there are two sides to this. The Bucks, I'm told, believe that the Knicks did not even offer a deal strong enough to continue these conversations. The Knicks believe, I'm told, that the Bucks never seriously considered a trade of Giannis Antetokounmpo this summer.
However, Knicks insider reporter Ian Begley said on a podcast that he's heard that the Knicks did make serious offers, contradicting what Shams reported.
And Zach, I want to say too, I think that Shams had reported that the Bucks didn't think the Knicks were serious. The Knicks didn't think the Bucks were serious. Just in checking around the last couple of days, the Knicks, they made what they felt was a real offer. That wasn't like they offered, a few bench pieces and the rest of their picks. They made what they felt was a real offer. Specific names, it's going to annoy you probably, but I don't have it strongly enough to report at the moment.
You can't annoy me, Ian.
But it was a real offer. So that to me was interesting too. And why did it happen after Bridges got extended? That to me is equally, not equally puzzling, but also puzzling.
Nevertheless, Giannis did report to the Milwaukee Bucks' training camp and told reporters that he believes in this team, but did say that his mind could change in 6 to 7 months.
But yeah, I've said this many times. Like, I want to be in situations that I can win, and now I'm here. I believe in this team. I believe in my teammates. I'm here to lead this team to wherever we can go, and it's definitely gonna be hard. We're gonna take it day by day, but I'm here. So all the other extra stuff does not matter. I think I've communicated with my teammates, communicated with the people that I respect and love, that the moment that I step in on this court or in this facility and wear this jersey, the rest does not matter. I'm locked into whatever I have in front of me. Now, if in 6-7 months I change my mind, I think that's human too. You're allowed to make any decision you want. But I'm locked in. I'm locked into this team. I'm locked into these guys, to this group, and to my coaching staff, and to myself.
According to Shams, Giannis will see how the Bucks season starts out, and if they aren't contending, he could demand a trade mid-season. Shams also reports that Giannis is no longer New York Knicks only. His agent is testing the waters with several other teams, seeing what they can offer in a potential trade.
So for the Knicks exclusive window, that window has shut. When we talk about windows, let's shut that window, because if this ever comes about where Giannis Antetokounmpo going into the season, he's going to start considering his best external options, that window with the Knicks has closed. So you look around the league and he's going to continue, I'm told, to keep his options open and see how does the Bucks season start. The first quarter of the year is going to be very, very important. Stakeholders within the Bucks organization know this is somewhat of a make or break season for them. And his agent, Alex Saratzis at Octagon, he's been fielding rampant interest in Giannis since the May draft combine. He's going to be at the center of fielding and navigating this situation if it plays out into this season. But it's going to come down to wins and losses.
ESPN reporter Brian Windhorst stated that the entire league knows and is preparing for Giannis to leave the Milwaukee Bucks.
How long do you think Giannis stays in Milwaukee?
He just gave you the answer to that question. He said 6 or 7 months. He didn't just pull that number out of thin air. He thought very carefully about how long it was until the end of the season. And what he basically said there is, I'm going to give it another evaluation at the end of the season. And look, Giannis said yesterday what he had to say. He's starting the season with the Milwaukee Bucks. He made that decision over the summer. The Knicks and the Bucks certainly talked in August. And I'm going to say, if you look at the big picture, it's a little bit disconcerting if I'm the Bucks that I made this crazy maneuver in July, waiving Dame Lillard and then signing Miles Turner, both of them $100 million maneuvers. And then in August, Giannis said, hey, what about the Knicks? That's not necessarily a good sign. But it is very clear to the whole league that Giannis' situation in Milwaukee is probably short term.
Sam Amick from The Athletic has reported that the Knicks have made Jalen Brunson untouchable in trade talks for Giannis. If a deal were to be made, possible players involved could be Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson, and then on. Charles Barkley has heard the Giannis trade rumors and can't believe that star players in today's league feel entitled to competing for a championship every year.
But what did you make of the Giannis conversation about possibly wanting to be in a trade to the Knicks?
You know, it's interesting how these guys, they feel like they're entitled to play for the championship every year. As a great player, you should feel like, I'm a great player. If I get any help, we're going to win. And you got to give the Milwaukee Bucks credit. I wish the person loved me as much as the Bucks love Giannis. They went out and got Dame. They went out and got Miles Turner. They've done everything possible. So it's unfortunate that he feels like he's entitled to win the championship every year. Everybody wants to win a championship. But the Bucks have done everything they possibly could. It's disheartening for me to hear him thinking like, if we don't win the championship this year, I want to be out of here. I hate hearing that.